Business Viewpoint Magazine. Today, we are delighted to feature a financial leader whose expertise in financial strategy, operational excellence, and business transformation has helped organizations strengthen performance, improve governance, and drive sustainable growth. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, operational efficiency and sound financial leadership has become essential for organizations seeking long term success. Through strategic financial management, data driven decision making, and a strong focus on business value, our guest has played an important role in helping businesses navigate complexity while building resilient operations. Please join me in welcoming one of the most influential icons redefining operational and financial excellence 2026, CA Mahabaleshwar Hegde, Chief Financial Officer at PraSha Sync. Mahabaleshwar, thank you so much for joining us, and it's a pleasure to have you on this show today.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'll be happy to be part of this interview.
It's our honor, sir. So let's get started with the first question. To begin with, could you tell us more about your professional journey and what inspired you to build a career in finance and business leadership?
Sure. To start with, my name is Mahabaleshwar Hegde. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm based out of Bangalore, and I have more than 20 plus years experience working in diverse industries, starting from retail, hospitality, real estate, startup, manufacturing, and technology related industries. So more than 20 years experience working all these industries. And uh, so what brought me into finance is my passion for numbers and solving problem through informed decision making through data driven decision making. That's where I chose my career into the finance, because it was my passion to learn more about the numbers and how to solve the problems through these numbers, not just reporting the numbers. It's solving the problems through these numbers. That's where I chose a career in finance. It's basically about strategic thinking, value driven decisions, creating value for the business. That's the main motto, because most of the time it's not only just about reporting numbers, it's about creating the value for business. So that's my passion between our passion, due to which I chose a career in this finance.
That's wonderful, sir. So, as the Chief Financial Officer, how has your role evolved beyond traditional financial management to become a strategic partner in business growth and operational excellence?
The CFO roles have been evolved over a period of time with the change of technology, with AI, all these things coming in. The role has changed completely. So traditionally, finance role was bookkeeping and accounting. That was or maximum to the extent of reporting the numbers. But over the period of time, we have become a business partner to the business, wherein uh, rather than a traditional accounting and reporting function, we are the business partner. We are part of the business. We help business to make informed decisions. We own P&L. We drive digital transformation. We drive AI adoption. So a lot of other areas we collaborate with the cross-functional teams. So that's how the role has evolved, from a bookkeeper to a value creator or a strategic partner to the business, where we create value in terms of managing the P&L, creating the values, or driving the cost reduction initiatives, creating unit economics, pricing strategies. So we are involved in each and every process. So the CFO role has evolved from, rather than just reporting a number, to a business partner, to a strategic leader who drives the entire company to the goals or whatever the long-term vision of the company. So we are the driving force towards the vision of the company. So we collaborate with all other teams, cross-functional teams like HR, finance, operations, or marketing, all other teams. We work together to achieve the long-term sustainable goals. So our role has evolved as a achiever of a long-term sustainable goal rather than just reporting the number. That's how the CFO roles or the finance roles have evolved over a period of time.
That's very insightful, sir. So, organizations today face increasingly financial uncertainty and operational challenges. So, what do you see are like the biggest priorities for finance leaders in today's business environments?
So one is the collaboration with the cross-functional team, which is very, very essential. Finance cannot work in isolation, because what happens is, in a company, whatever you do, finally, end of the day, it has to result in a financial outcome. It has to come as a financial result, then only company can achieve its goals. So the finance leaders, they cannot work in isolation, they have to work in collaboration with the uh, entire other teams in the company. So the second thing is governance part, or the risk management, or the digital transformation, or the automation. Because today we talk so much about automation, but the person who will drive the automation will be from finance. Because as a finance person, you need to have understanding of business also, not only the numbers or the governances or the laws. Apart from that, you need to have this business acumen, where you understand the business, you understand each and every activity of the company thoroughly, so that you also get involved in the company's operations to achieve the operation excellence. See, or the operation excellence cannot be achieved by finance alone or any other department in the company. When the entire company works together, that's where you achieve your operation excellence. So to do that, finance will be the driving force, where they collaborate with anybody, with everybody. They take together everybody to achieve that excellence what company is looking for. So the role has evolved over a period of time. It's such a way that, so you are the important function in the company, as well as you are the driving force to achieve your strategic goals. That's how the first thing is defining the goals. Second thing is showing a path to achieve the strategic goals. So during this period, communication plays a very important role. It's not that I make a strategy but keep it to myself without telling anybody. You cannot achieve. So you need to clearly define the objectives. You need to clearly communicate with the different departments, saying that okay, this is our objective. This is how we are going to achieve this objective. So when we all work together, clearly communicated and work together, then only we achieve the operation excellence.
That's wonderful, sir. So, you have a long-standing journey, right? So, what has been some of the most significant challenges you've encountered throughout your career, and also what lessons have they taught you about leadership and decision making?
See, obviously, any leader journey comes with a lot of challenges. And personally, I feel that each challenge is a learning opportunity. And we are the generation, we have seen everything. Matlab, ours is a generation where probably you are much younger. So we have seen the generation from radio to tape recorder to TV to telephone to mobile, now the AI thing. So we have seen everything during our career. So each stage had a different challenge. Each stage had a different learnings altogether. So like we see in COVID. So during COVID, entire companies is locked down. We are not able to work. We can't go out. It poses a different kind of a challenge, and each challenge gives a opportunity to learn. That's what I believe. That I don't see it as a challenge. I see it as an opportunity to learn and make you better personally as well as professionally. So during COVID, we realized that what is the importance of having a cash surplus in the company, because it came as a very rude shock for everybody, not only us. Entire the world is frozen, everything stopped moving. During that time, we realized that how important to have the cash balance, how important to have the cash flows, how important to have alternate avenues to generate revenue, how we are going to manage our expenses, P&L, how we are going to manage our employees. So each situation comes with a challenge, but challenge gives opportunity to learn more personally as well as professionally. So during my journey of 20 years career, each stage there are been challenges. There are a lot of challenges. So each time we have to say, like during demonetization, we had a challenge of managing the cash.
Right.
Then the solution came with the QR codes, and now all the payments are accepted with the QR codes. So we have to redesign our entire system of recognizing or recording these transactions, how to bring it on table, how to ensure that the money is collected properly. So we have to design a new system by itself. So that was a key learning for us to that okay, we have to be fragile, or a company which should be able to learn, adapt, and evolve quickly. That's a lesson which I've learned over a period of time. So we have to build a system, we have to build a company which is quickly to adapt, learn, and evolve. That's a lesson which I got from these challenges. And as I said, each challenge is opportunity for learning personally as well as professionally.
That's well said, sir, right there. So, operational excellence often requires collaboration across departments. So, how do you encourage alignment between finance and other business functions to achieve organizational goals?
So, as I told earlier, finance cannot operate in isolation. We need to work as a team. We have to collaborate with the different functions in the company. And what whatever the function or whatever the other functions, whatever they do finally have to result in financial results so that the company's overall goals are achieved. For that, we need to have a collaboration between the teams. So, for which we need to have a clear path of communication. Each strategy need to be breakdown into the smaller goals by departments or other department wise. So you break down into the smaller goals, you communicate them clearly that okay, these are the goals we should achieve and what are the outcomes of that. So this communication is very very important when you're working with the cross functional teams. That's an important part to achieve our operational excellence, because everybody has to work together one goal. Everybody has to work together one goal, which is the ultimate goal of the company. That is more important. So we need to have that communication very frequent, because we have weekly meetings, we have quarterly meetings, we have fortnightly meetings, monthly meetings. So in those meetings, whatever strategies designed by the management are communicated properly, given a proper breakdown, activities are in detail communicated to the teams so that we we are in the right direction. There are review meetings. Is there any deviation, we identify immediately, uh, and try to resolve those deviations and move towards the proper direction. So Ratan Tata once said, you fail fast and learn faster. So we follow those principles. We don't let the things to a very end stage where it goes out of control. We have a regular monitoring of our goals and what you're going. See, these goals will turn into KRS and KPIs of our company or our different departments. So we monitor this KPIs very closely on a regular basis, so that if any deviation comes in that, we are able to rectify immediately, so that uh, we are on the right path. So that's how we do it. We create a strategy, design a smaller goals, communicate properly, and work or review on a regular basis. These are the 4 or 5 major principles through which we are trying to achieve the operation excellence.
That's fantastic, sir. So, how do you balance discipline with the need to invest in innovation, business expansion, and long term growth? Because definitely, like, that's the need of the hour. So, how do you balance
Yes.
that?
Uh, so I don't see, or I don't say I need to balance because these are not competing with each other. They are complementing each other. You need funds, you need innovation, you need other capabilities to build, you need transformation, everything you need in the company. So uh, as a company, we clearly define what our fund allocation will be and what are the outcomes of those innovation and how we are going to utilize it are for business. So this communication or having this path is very very critical during these decisions, because see, money is not in surplus. Money is a shortage resource. There is always scarcity of money. So that needs to be put in a right direction, right avenues. So it needs to be invested with wisely, so that we have a maximize our ROIs, we have our controls better. So that's the reason what we do is generally uh, we support obviously the innovation is a backbone of our company, because we need to constantly have to innovate ourselves to stay ahead in the competition, stay relevant in the market. Otherwise you are no more relevant in the market if if you start innovating. So we need to have that fine balance between the fund flows and the innovation and the other growth factors what we have to invest. Or we see, the growth can come from multiple ways. You need to find innovative ways to invest. That's also innovation. We always try to find innovative ways so that you maximize our ROIs on the investment, because we have raised funds from the investors. It's our investor money. We are responsible, reportable for the investor. So we generally have to, my principle is to have a clear balance between the cash flows, innovation, and other operations in the company. So again, we clearly define as to how much you are going to invest on these factors and what are the outcomes. The outcomes are important. It's that we cannot keep blindly keep investing money on something. So we need to have a clear definition of how much we are going to invest, what timelines, and what is the ROIs. All these things are well calculated, well thought. Then only we are going to for the investment, so that we manage our cash flows as well as supporting our growth and innovation. See,
That's amazing.
one more thing. See, the growth cannot come at the cost of the company.
Right.
Ultimately, company has to survive. So even for the growth capital also, we think through it. How, what are the innovative ways, or what are the multiple ways we can grow? We can go through acquisitions. We can go through entering to a new market. We can grow through introducing new products. There are multiple ways we can grow. So again, we deliberate between the themes as to which is the best path we can take, so that our we maximize our ROI. So we have multiple options, but we always try to balance the cash flows, growth, innovation, all is on the same platform.
Yes, so that's fantastic. So let's touch a little bit upon technology now. So technology and digital transformation continue to reshape finance. So how do you see automation, analytics, and data-driven insights influencing the future roles of CFO? I think you've already answered that, but if you can
Yes,
just elaborate it.
yeah. There's automation, uh, data-driven insights, uh, the transformation. It will have a major role, because gone are the days when you're manually processing your finance processes. These are all automated through using AI or various digital platforms. So all these things are already in place. So through which, as the CFO, I will focus more on the strategy than the transactional, because earlier there used to be some time we need to spend on transactional items, compliances, or minor events. So all these processes are automated now. We just have to monitor it, so that I spend more time on the strategic vision of the company, or going for a diversification, going for a merger and acquisition, international expansion, going to new geography. Those strategies we can do it. And with the AI data generated insights, we can forecast our future with more accuracy, which will help us to make an informed decision. And every decision today has to be, or even historically also, all the decisions have made based in the data. But with the technology coming in, the time to collaborate that data or bring it to a required format has reduced drastically. Maybe a report which used to take 1 week earlier, now it can be done in 2 hours with the automation and the transformation. So we have much more time to think about the strategy or the bigger roles. So we use AI for a forecasting purpose. We have automated our entire forecasting, business forecasting for next 3 year, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Forecasting is completely automated with the help of AI. So we have that much excess time left with us to think about our long-term missions. Think about what we want to do for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. What should be our vision when we have to go for IPO? Those kind of decisions. So today's CFO is much more equipped with the data, with the process, with everything, which will help in taking decisions better. See, any technology, anything is there, finally the decision has to come from human judgment.
Right.
You have data, you have AI, you have tools, you have 100% digital organization, but the final decision has to come from human intelligence only. So uh, as a CFO, I can spend more time, more intelligence on making the informed decision. And today our organization is completely paperless organization. We don't have any single paper across our organization. We are completely transformed from document perspective to 100% digital organization. So with that, we took a last year a digital transformation project itself, where we have completely transformed our company from a paperless office to 100% digital office. So this will help in making your decisions faster. You can think of long-term visions. You can think more about the strategy, think more about the company, how to take it forward.
That's very, very informative, sir. So, this brings me to the last and foremost question. Looking ahead, what is your vision for creating lasting operational and financial excellence? And what advice would you like to offer to aspiring entrepreneurs and finance professionals who want to become future business leaders?
So, all aspiring finance professionals or who want to become future finance leaders, my advice is to have much more understanding on the business. You need to have a strong foundation of financial discipline or compliances. All these things you need to have a strong foundation of, which is your basic skill. But more than that, try to develop a business acumen. Try to understand the business in much detailed way, much more better way, so that you are able to create value to the business. So rather than just reporting the numbers, instead of that, you always keep thinking that where and all I can create value for the company. That's where the leadership is all about for today in this generation or in this digital world. What you bring it onto a table than the just reporting the numbers, which is much more important. So for my advice to everybody who are coming to a finance or who want to become aspiring finance leaders, apart from finance, you need to have the business acumen. You need to be a partner to the business rather than just report controller of the business. There's a difference between controller and the partner. As a controller, you always try to limit businesses to not to do this, not to do that, not to do this. But as a partner to the business, you always support business to grow in much larger way. So I suggest everyone, rather than becoming a controllers, try to become a business partner by understanding the business, by collaborating with the business. And other thing what I should highlight is everyone should have a clear communication skills, which is very essential in this current world. You are able to communicate your idea effectively to others, which is very important. You might be having say 1,000 great ideas, but if you are not able to communicate, people will not be able to execute it. So you need to have a very good communication skills. You should have a business acumen. Obviously the technology adoption is a no-brainer that you continuously exploring. Also, one more suggestion which I give is never stop your learning. You are never completed your learning. Keep your learning mode always on, so that you constantly upgrade yourself, constantly learn from the processes, from the mistakes, from everything. Because once a curiosity stops, then you don't learn anything. You have to be curious. You need to ask question. You need to ask much deeper question to understand the business. So to summarize, I should tell that you should have curiosity, you should have business acumen, you should have communication, apart from your core financial skills such as accounting, bookkeeping, or reporting, compliances, governance. Apart from all these things, you should develop this additional skill to become a business partner to the business.
Yeah, so I think that those are really some golden piece of advices right there. So thank
Yeah,
you so much. I think this brings us to the end of the interview. But I just
sure.
want to thank you, for your time and effort for this interview. And I just want to give you a small vote of thanks. So thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights and experiences with us today. Your journey demonstrates how financial leadership, operational excellence, and a commitment to continuous improvement can create a lasting value for organizations while shaping the future of modern businesses. We wish you continued success in your leadership journey at PraSha Sync and look forward to seeing your continued contributions to operational and financial excellence. To all of our viewers, we will soon be back with more inspiring conversations featuring visionary leaders and industry changemakers right here on the Business Viewpoint. Thank you so much, sir, and I wish you all the best for your future and your role ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Business Viewpoint recognizing as a business leader of 2026 and talking to during this interview. Thank you so much for the business. Thank you, Business Point Viewpoint, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank